Will my insurance rates go up after an animal collision? Have you ever wondered what happens to your insurance rates after hitting an animal with your vehicle? This is a common concern for many drivers. Let's break down how an animal collision claim works and what it means for your insurance premiums. When your vehicle collides with an animal, like a deer, the damage is typically covered under the comprehensive portion of your auto insurance policy. Comprehensive coverage protects you from non-collision incidents, which include animal collisions, theft, and natural disasters. If you only have collision coverage, you may be responsible for repair costs out of your own pocket, since hitting an animal might not be covered. Now, here's the good news. Generally, filing a claim for an animal collision under comprehensive coverage does not lead to an increase in your insurance rates. This is because hitting an animal is usually seen as a non-fault event. In other words, you are not at fault for the animal suddenly appearing on the road. Insurance companies often treat these claims differently from at-fault collision claims, which are more likely to raise your premiums. However, there are a few things to keep in mind. If you file multiple comprehensive claims for animal collisions or other incidents, some insurance providers may consider this a higher risk. This could potentially lead to an increase in your rates. Additionally, if you swerve to avoid an animal and end up colliding with another vehicle or object, that incident would typically be classified as a collision claim. Since collision claims often involve driver fault, this type of claim is more likely to raise your insurance premiums. If you or your passengers sustain injuries during an animal collision, personal injury protection coverage can help cover medical expenses. Filing a personal injury protection claim usually has a minimal effect on your rates, especially if you were not at fault. It is also important to note that insurance rate changes after an animal collision claim can vary by state and insurance provider. Some states have regulations that prevent rate increases after hitting an animal, while others leave it up to the insurance company's discretion. In most cases, if your claim is strictly for damage caused by hitting an animal and is filed under comprehensive coverage, your insurance rates typically will not increase. But if the incident involves swerving and causing a collision, or if you have multiple claims over time, your rates could go up. It is always a good idea to check with your insurance agent about how animal collision claims might affect your specific policy and premiums.